What do you guys think? So good. Well, once again, let's bring him to the stage, writer-director Owen Egerton!
Thank you, guys! Probably the weirdest musical you've ever seen. We just cut out all the musical numbers.
Yeah. So, did you want to bring, you said you've got some cast?
We do! Would you guys like to meet some of the cast? For the, so much of the cast and crew are here today. I'm going to invite them up to the stage. I actually wrote down the ones that I saw in the lobby to make sure I got everyone who's here. But also, just like, this was an Austin production. I guess in some ways California paid for it, but Austin made it. That's the way things should be. It was so great to make it here in Austin, Texas, and to make it with so many of the people who are in this room. So very, very grateful. But let's go ahead and I'll bring them up sort of bit by pieces so you can ask your sort of questions one by one. Because I know, James, you're a good question asker.
Well, I want to start with the obvious question.
Oh, you want to ask one right now?
Yeah.
Before I bring anyone up.
Well,
you go for it. No, James, okay. I trust you.
Well, I want to start obvious. How can we subscribe to your Sanding of Wood YouTube channel?
The Wood Nook.
The Wood Nook.
The Wood Nook is just a gift I give to the world. I think wooding and nooking should be something everyone does. And
you're going to cameo in every movie you make, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the only way to keep my SAG card.
I'll get I got that done one out of the way. Bring important people.
Let's go ahead and bring a couple of people up. Just to get started, let's bring up Miles Emmons, who plays young Bryce. Come on up, Miles. Let's go ahead and bring up Ella Lamont, who plays Miles' mom. You okay?
Yeah, I'm scared. Oh, that's why you would let a kid see that.
That's really your mom's responsibility.
See that?
I wonder. That's actually very true. Miles did not know what happened in the script. His mom Nicole, who was so very great and on set all the time, we're just reading the script as we shoot it. So I'll prepare him for stabbing the librarian right before he stabs the librarian. Great job. And then Ella Lamont, of course, who's just been an Alita Battle Angel. Right, where she plays a bloodthirsty android killer, and in this she plays a mom, which is pretty brilliant. Yeah. Do you have some questions for them, or I can bring up more people? More. Okay, yeah. Let's see. I don't know. Rochelle Robinson, are you here tonight, Rochelle? Oh, okay. She plays the mom of Rebecca in the trailer, and my God, she's pretty brilliant. Yeah. She actually, it's like she lives in that trailer. She doesn't because we pay so well in the movies that I make. Is Lee Eddy here? Lee Eddy, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, Lee. That's the woman you stabbed.
Wait, does that make her a zombie?
Yes, it does. Mercy Black 2. And why don't we go ahead while we're bringing people up? Let's go ahead and bring up these three girls acted in many scenes together, and I would love if I got to make a sequel. It'd be fun to make a prequel just starring these three girls, because I think they're such talented individuals, and their singing, which they sing in the scenes, but is also, I don't know if you noticed in the score, but the singing of the creepy Itsy Bitsy Spider / Mercy Black song is used throughout the show. So would you please bring up to the stage, or welcome up to the stage, Elka Bouchard-Depew, Jamie Lynch, and Sylviana Smith. I think that's all our cast that are here tonight. I don't think Austin Emilio was going to try and be here. Austin, are you here? No, and Daniela is working tonight in Los Angeles, and she couldn't be here tonight, so sadly she couldn't be here either. And Janine Garofalo has opened her own food truck that is just outside, and we're going to be eating there later tonight, because you can't
Talentedly.
You can't nail Janine down. She's going to do whatever she wants. So give it up for the cast. Gareth Egerton, that's right, who plays the Mr. Crosby, the disturbed librarian customer, who also just got married. Gareth Egerton, ladies and gentlemen.
Daughter Martin.
And my daughter Arden is in it.
Stealer.
Yes, and my son Oscar is in it. Oscar with an exclamation mark. Because turns out you pay family less. Turns out. That's how you make a movie.
Well, Owen, you're known around Alamo parts and in the literary world as being more of a funny, happy guy.
I thought this was a comedy.
And you keep making
Have you
these
read his last book?
dark, scary books. Movies. What is it that draws you to this guy? What is it that draws you to making horror movies? What is it about?
I think actually horror and comedy have a lot in common, which is like setup, punchline, or actually even more setup, the punchline you expect, and then the punchline you get, which is slightly different. So I kind of find them very similar. And there's no other genre. There's two genres, I guess. Well, musicals too, if you have the right kind of crowd, where you have an audible response from an audience. Actually, maybe it's an uncontrolled audible response. Like only in comedy and horror do we make a noise that we didn't expect to make, which is either laughter or screams. I think they're kind of close cousins in that way. Yeah. And I love horror movies. I don't know about you guys, but yeah.
The house that they live in, to me, was kind of indicative of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house. It kind of looks like that. The layout is a little bit
That's
like
really
it.
good. Did anyone notice that house was from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, Next Generation, with Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger? Do you remember that one? No, you don't. No one does. But it happened in this house, the same house. We got to film in that.
Wow.
That was really cool. Wasn't that cool for you? Because I know you're a big chainsaw head.
I'm the one in the movie. Or in real life.
Yeah, you like chainsaws wherever you can find them?
No.
So good.
Leatherface Jr.
Yeah.
Right there.
Leatherface Jr. Ooh. Kids.
But where is that? Is that around Austin?
Yes, yeah, that is, I guess it's kind of near Pflugerville, right? The scariest place on earth.
And then I want to give it to the cast too. What was your favorite moment filming on set? I know a lot of y'all were out at the creek the whole time, and Owen says that's in the winter. That couldn't have been too fun, but did you have a good time out there?
Hi. We were out on the creek a lot. It's one of the longest scenes we shot. It was the ending. We wrapped out there. Pretty late, freezing cold, I'm not gonna lie. We wore wetsuits. You know, they helped. They were very uncomfortable. But yeah, it was very creepy. You know, you always think when you're on set and you're gonna watch the movie, you know, it's not gonna be that scary because you were there, you got to see what happened. But no, not really true. Still very scary, and it was even scary shooting it because you know you had to walk out in the lake. I hate sharks. Telling myself the whole time, no sharks exist in the lake. No sharks exist. You know.
Those creek sharks are the worst. Creek Shark. There's a movie. Starring Jamie Lynch. Creek Shark.
Well, first, I would like to thank the writer and director of Mercy Black, Owen Egerton. Let's get another round of applause. Well, I had a blast just filming the whole movie. It was an unforgettable experience. And I think, gosh, my favorite part, it was all so much fun. I think getting to cut off the finger, that was insanely fun. Oh my goodness. And walking into the river, that was pretty fun.
I gotta say, I was impressed with the two of you because you did stand in that water for a long time, and it was very, very cold. In fact, for budget reasons, we had to cut out, in the original script, it was snow and all that because it was gonna be cold, and we had to cut the snow. The budget was like, no, we just can't afford snow, and we're filming this in Austin. And then, by God, it snows. It snows while we're filming it, You can see snow in the background, and you guys were in cold. I mean, we had camera crew who were complaining, like, I can't film anymore. It's too cold. And you're like, well, we'll just do another take. We're fine. So, yeah, you guys kick butt.
I think that my favorite part was actually, this is going to sound very, like, creepy, but I loved being dragged through the woods. It was really fun, and I was constantly being sprayed with fake blood, which was really awesome. I thought that it was fun because after every shot, Sophie would turn to me and she would go, "Are you okay?" She wanted to make sure that everything was okay, and I loved the support and how even though we were doing this really creepy sort of messed up thing, we were all still having fun and supporting each other. So.
I'm just glad the finger grew back. Yes. Whew. I read that wasn't true with kids.
Lee, I assume you learned all about the Dewey Decimal System for your...
Of course,
yeah,
very method.
yeah.
Ask me a number, I'll tell you what the book is.
Go, dude.
1302.8.
Johnny Tremaine.
She's right. I can only presume she's right.
Find it. Not Google it, find it.
We couldn't afford Google. Google is a very expensive website to put into a movie.
Find.net or find.gov?
We leave it very vague. Just find it. You guys all use Find It. Every morning, gonna get on Find It.
Did you have a favorite scene that you shot?
Oh, well, actually, this is going to sound super messed up again. My favorite scene was when my aunt just comes in, completely tackles Lee. I just love seeing that. She just comes in, completely tackles her into the lake, your normal afternoon wrestling.
Yeah.
That was the best. That was cool.
That was my favorite part too.
Yeah, that was messed up.
Yeah, super messed up.
Also, I want to say thank you to Owen Egerton. He is the walking definition of horror. So if you ever need to know about horror, that's history.
That's what my wife says, too. I'm saying,
One of my favorite parts about being in the movie was actually working with Miles. He was just, for being such a young professional actor, being able to hold his own at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., hit his mark, not lose his mind. There are times where I was like, if he can do it, keep it together. Because his child is totally on, and he's totally with it. And it was just such a pleasure working with you. You did such a fantastic job, dude.
So nice. I don't know whoever worked in special effects. Who worked in special effects? They did a great job. They did a great job.
the whole team's, yeah.
They did a great job making the movie scary. I feel like special effects were half of what made the movie scary.
Dude, you stand
The other half was Owen. Also, I think that this is the best movie ever created. Anyone else? Also, I want to say Owen is really good with kids. And I want to say thank you. He had so much patience on the set. We had to take so many takes. It was so nice. Thank you.
You're welcome. Mercy Black 2. Ladies and gentlemen.
Face forward.
Black will rise again.
Great with kids.
Yeah.
All right. And not to leave you out, did you have a favorite scene?
I think my favorite scene actually was cut from the film, but I just spent an entire day throwing pies at Austin. And that's got to be one of my most fun scenes ever,
Yeah.
I think, to film, period.
Half the budget was spent on HEB pies. Yes, yeah. But we did cut the throwing of the pie. It was amazing to have Ella Lamont, because if you've seen her in Rodriguez's films and all these other films, she's always plays like a badass. Who's going to have a kick-ass line and then just a foot in the face, and it was so fun to see her play a mom and the caring sister, the most compassionate character in the entire movie, and then
they threw me down the stairs.
Yes. Yeah. but she survived. Mercy Black 2.
So was there a mixture of, like, it seemed like there was puppets, but also...
Puppets?
I mean, a terrifying creature
Yes.
that was there in front of people?
We decided to go, we worked with creature designer Gypsy Taylor, who also did our costumes, and she had done a lot of work with the Babadook and and things like that, and has like a great knack of like, how's this creature gonna be? And we were talking about it and going through different things, and I said, we decided early on we wanted it to be practical, the idea that most of the effects were not CGI, that there would be just something that you would see in reality. We wanted this sort of thing that these girls would have made as sort of a twisted arts and crafts project alone in this weird bunker. And that's how we sort of came to be. So we made this puppet that arrived like halfway through filming. We didn't have it the whole time. And we were hoping it would turn out well. And actually, the person who brought it with us to Texas and traveled with it dangerously on a flight, we should probably bring him to the stage. He's been my producing partner for so many films now. This is number 4. Would you please welcome to the stage Seth Kaplan? Oh, there he comes. I thought he was going to be like in the lobby making phone calls, because, agents. Producers, that's that LA lifestyle.
Yeah, the pollen's really bad right now.
Yeah, he's from LA. He doesn't even run the stage, he walks. He's so LA, he probably took an Uber to the front. Is there an Uber here again? I thought that was... Hey, y'all. Thank you for being here. So yes, Seth and I were working on this film way back, and Seth did get the lucky job of traveling from Los Angeles to Texas with the puppet that was Mercy
What
Black.
did TSA think of that?
So we were actually fabricated the puppet at a warehouse in North Hollywood. So the puppet was designed here, but it was fabricated, and I had to go pick it up. And so I went to this kind of weird shed in the back of an industrial area, and I saw the puppet, and they just kind of like put it in a box and put some tape on it, and they're like, here you go. And so I check it in, right? So I check it at the airport, I kind of hope they're not gonna open it, see what's gonna happen, put it on the airplane, and I swear, we're flying here, and like over Arizona, we start hitting turbulence, and I'm like thinking, did that puppet wake up? Is it coming out to get me? And I couldn't tell anyone. We made it, we landed. There might have been one tear, though, in that tape when we opened it. I don't know. Puppets. True story.
Oh, and I really enjoyed the music in the film too.
Yeah.
The composed music, but then also the interstitial music.
Yeah, we got really lucky. We worked with Casimir Boyle, who's worked with Seth and I on a couple of movies now, and he's such a talented composer. And like I said, he used wonderfully Elka and Sophia and Jamie's voices in the actual score. It's just sort of muses and instruments. And then I was lucky enough. I was like, you put in songs that you want to hear. I was lucky enough to have Bob Schneider, who's here tonight actually. And basically, I'm like, Bob, I've been using your music in one scene when this kind of asshole boyfriend gets murdered. It's perfect. Can I use it? And he was very nice to let us use it, which I really, really appreciated. And then another song by Bill Pasalacqua, who used to live in Austin and moved because I don't know, he couldn't stand the scooters. And so yeah, it was really great. It's for me, I think for all of us as filmmakers, it's like really, it's a wonderful thing when you're able to have like the music that inspires you and that you listen to while you're writing and typing to be in the film. So I'm very grateful to Bob for allowing us to use his music.
Audience, I want to open it up. If anybody has questions out there, just feel free to raise a hand. Oh, there we go. There's one.
Hey, for your aerial shots, did you get to ride in was it a helicopter? How did you do them?
Yeah, it was 4 helicopters, all holding me with a camera, is how I do it. Like, yeah, it was a drone. The kind of drone that you buy at CVS, actually. The kind that if you buy enough aspirin, they give you a free drone. That one. No, we used it. We actually had a brilliant drone operator, and our cinematographer, Eliane Fenton, who's actually couldn't be here tonight because of a leg operation, but she is such a brilliant cinematographer. Yeah, give it up for Eliane Fenton. I know the cast and crew know her. She's so very talented, and she worked with a drone operator on those shots, and we were thrilled to get them. And the forest looked nice too.
Yeah, super cool. I love that shot, looking through the side mirror as she drives away.
Those are cool shots, aren't they?
Really good one. Anybody else? Yeah.
When you were writing the script, what was the entry point that like kind of got the project started for you?
So, funny enough, it was Seth and I were working on our first movie that I was directing, and it got delayed. And someone told me about Slender Man. And I had not heard about that. I had not heard about all these different things. And I started researching the story of Slender Man. If you guys don't know, I imagine most of us do now, that Slender Man was this online phantom, sort of made up a story that went viral and then inspired some girls to commit a real act of violence against a friend of theirs, believing that was true. And I started thinking about that time period in life where we've got sort of 1 foot in childhood and believing in all the things that we believe in as children, and 1 foot in adulthood where our actions have actual consequences. And that is a wild part of life. And I started researching actually stories. There's a particular girl, a little girl who in England murdered some children when she was 12. Went to...
Karen!
Wait for the punchline. Anyway, when she got out of prison at age 24, she was allowed to, by the law, change her name. And it wasn't until she was, I think, in her 30s, had her own daughter, who was age 12, that the press revealed her, including to her own daughter. And her own daughter discovered what she had done. And I started thinking about this woman and like, what was her relationship to the crimes she had done as a child, to the motivations she had done as a child? How was she a different person? And how was it when her own child discovered who she was? And that kind of gave rise to that weird place of where what we believe has consequences, whether it's true or not.
So you keep it ambiguous pretty much through the movie, like what's going on, whether it's all in the head.
Yeah.
Is it still ambiguous at the end?
What do you think? I don't know. I never watched it with an audience before, so.
I mean, we'll find out in Mercy Black 2, I guess.
Yeah. There was something, it was interesting that someone said at Blumhouse, and I thought was such a good observation, that said basically, when you look at was talking about the Crusades, someone being murdered by Crusaders back in the day didn't really care if Jesus was the Son of God or not. It didn't make a difference to the sharp knife that was stabbing them in the neck. That basically, sometimes, whether something is true or not, loses significance when our consequences are true no matter what. So in that way, I was kind of like, I wanted to play with that. In my mind, hell yeah, she's real, right? Mercy's real. And sitting right behind you. Oh, I wanted to say something, by the way. You mentioned the shot of in the rearview mirror. And I agree, that's a beautiful shot. And Eliane and I worked on that together, of like how that would look. But I think why it stands out in the film is because of our editor, Sean McQueenie. Sean, you're here, yes? Sean McQueenie, there's a true thing that they say about film, which is so true, that you write one film, you film a second film when we're all together in cold water, and then you edit a third film, and all three are different, and then finally the last one comes together. And Sean was the person who made that third film. And he found things like, well, let me put all those shots of her in the mirror together to progress a journey from one place to another place, and to bring us into the film. And this film would not be what it is without the expert hand of Sean McQueen.
We have time for a couple more questions, yeah.
Okay, I just have a question from a creative standpoint, and you kind of talked about it a little bit with the editing, but how much of the final film is your original vision? Like, as you're writing the script, like, and then you see the final version, you're like, oh, this is exactly how I envisioned it. How much of it is it sort of changes as it goes along in filming?
Well, actually, in some ways, you guys all read the script, right? And which is an interesting thing that these folks read the script, and filmmaking is such a collaborative effort. You go into a scene, and you do have the cinematographer who has her ideas of how to tell the story. You have production design and art design. Scott Colquitt. Scott, are you here? Scott, right back there, like if you thought like a room looked cool or wild, like Miles's room, when you're like all the space stuff and the telling of the story of his sort of obsession with his father, being through his obsession with his sort of fake story he's told about his father going as an astronaut. That's so much of that comes from Scott and Scott's work and his team. And then the actors bringing in their own version of it. I always find it fascinating, like how you guys who read the script acted it out and like, oh crap, I didn't know that was going to happen. Were there any surprises for you guys? Was it different than you expected?
Okay. Well, actually, seeing the movie when you cut some scenes out and add some stuff, and the special effects, that made it really scary and surprised me. So yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad it was scary and surprising.
Very, very scary. I'd say like TVMA. Honestly, it's scary enough. I think that they should make a higher rate than that. Trust me.
Thank you, Mike.
Expecting an award. I'm saying like if this movie once one person sees it, maybe get an award in like I don't know, a month or a week. Probably a week.
Probably a week.
Yeah. Yes, that's scary enough for that.
Yeah. TVMA, even higher than that. You're going to the poster. You've seen TVMA. Prepare, strap in. What are you guys?
I think at one point we were filming and it got to the part where Sophie had to cut off my finger, and the first time we did it, Owen like sort of looked at me and then he came up to me and he was like, okay, I want you to make like a little bit of like a noise. And at first I was like, I'm not gonna, like, why would I make a noise? You know, I've been knocked out and dragged through the woods, like I don't know how I would do that. But then I think watching it and seeing it added in, it is creepier seeing that she is still sort of there and like she could still feel the pain. So that was interesting and sort of scary.
Yeah, I was not expecting the opening to be that intense. I was, the script, it's the opening of the girls and I, where we're walking seeing the Itsy Bitsy Spider, but I also didn't expect the flashbacks to be that intense and that reoccurring too. I was very happy to see that. But yeah, no, I definitely didn't expect it to be that intense. And I really liked when I screamed because I cannot tell you guys how many times I did that and how many people brought me water for my throat. But that was really cool too to see it also muted in the beginning. That was one of my favorite parts in the whole movie.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Most actors don't say that part where I was muted was my favorite part. Wow.
Yeah, the opening was beautiful. I love just the branches like growing. And I didn't expect like Mercy, I mean, she had expressions and I didn't expect like Miles became Mercy, didn't she in the end?
Wait, what do you think, Miles? Do you become Mercy?
No, but I think I like become her sidekick. And the second movie, it's like people are trying to deal with me and Mercy because we're kind of slowly taking over the planet. Like, making one person crazy from every single city. So we're finishing off this city. Then the next one, we're going to make another person crazy, and so on until the planet just becomes Mercy Black.
Yeah.
I love that.
Start with Pflugerville.
As many cities as there are, that's as many movies as we get to make. Ka-ching! Perfect.
Anybody else in the audience? I think.
No more questions, really? Okay.
Well, you said we need to wait on social media.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Why is that?
So we do have to wait, and we're not allowed to say, but I will let you know that if you would keep an eye out on the interwebs and such over the next week or so, there'll be some really good news. But I'm not allowed to talk about that good news, and you're not allowed to talk about that good news. So yeah, sorry.
No, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I would like to say really quickly, these people were also fantastic. And you know, I want to give it up once again for Lee Eddy. Lee Eddy had she had a new kid when we were filming this, and she was coming out into this cold water, and we're like, we think the water's safe, we've tested it, we don't know, just roll around in the water for a while. And I was just sort of amazed at her being able to do that, especially when she was in the midst of being a new mom and all that. I just, you know, she's just one of the, we have, of the folks who live here in Austin, which is actually of all of us, it's just you guys too, right? You girls don't, do you? No, Milo, you're in LA now, aren't you? I can tell by the way you roll your sleeves. Your mom did that? She got style. But Elle and Lee are just two of like these incredible treasures that we have in Austin, Texas, and it makes me just so proud of the films and the art that is coming out of this community with actors like Elle and Lee. But I do want to point out again that I use my kids, Oscar and Arden, for free stuff a lot. Hands grabbing faces, I just use Oscar's hands wherever. I'm like, hey, lift up that blanket. It's just Oscar's hands. He's all over the place.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us again. Give it up for all of them involved with Mercy.